And South Africa really offers something special for everyone out there. But right now is that time of Friday morning where we are talking pets. And this morning we're taking a look at the dire situation of stray dogs, specifically in rural areas, because with the growing numbers, it leads to abuse, neglect, and a lot of suffering for these dogs. And this morning we are joined by veterinary surgeon Dr. Kookie Harris to tell us more about what the situation is like currently and also what we, the public, can do to help these dogs. Dr. Kookie, welcome to Expresso. Nice to have you.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
And you've been working with Bobby as well. I see you two have quite the relationship going as well.
Yes. I attended to his teeth problem at a private practice.
That's
the bulk of my work is really welfare work. This is where my heart is.
Exactly. And this morning we're taking a look at the stray dogs. What's the situation like currently when we take a look at townships and rural areas?
Yeah. Look, obviously the biggest problem in the urban areas, or the problem in urban areas, is bigger than it is in rural areas. In fact, there's no stray phenomenon in the rural areas because the dogs are just roaming everywhere, dogs and cats for that matter, and they are fine. They disappear for 2 days and they always seem to find their way back home.
Yeah.
But in the cities, it's very different, where because of, and it is really a reflection of the socio-economic situation in South Africa, where the animals are just as suffering as possibly the people are. If you look at the townships, there's high density areas, and hence there's a lot of animals.
Exactly, so, and it's one of the hardest things for me to drive past a stray dog and not being able to help out and pick him up. But what are some of the cases that you've come across in terms of, dogs that maybe were injured or sick?
Yeah, I think the biggest problem that we see in townships is motor vehicle accidents. Those there's a high number of them, and that is because of the small spaces where they stay, or where the people stay with their pets or their dogs and cats. There's no fencing, there's no proper demarcation between house to house. The animals have to fend for themselves for food, so they tend to stray out into the streets and they get run over. But what happens is, I would say the average year that they live is 2 years. And that tells you that what we are also having in the biggest problem is still an issue of primary health care with pets. So they are not vaccinated. So you still get the viruses, your parvoviruses, your distemper viruses.
And also the fact that these dogs aren't sterilized, they grow in large numbers, which just makes the problem even worse. Now, and as I've said, I would love to help out, but it's not always possible that me or somebody out there can pick up a stray dog on the street and take it home. But what can we do? How can the public get involved and help out?
Yeah, I think what people need to do really is to just get themselves acquainted with what is happening with welfare organizations. I stand to be corrected, but in Cape Town there's probably more than 10 or there are about 11 welfare organizations. That's just people trying to work with the situation. Just something that I want to bring to everyone's attention is that really some people think that in townships people don't care about their animals, but it's a question of people don't have the means and people don't have the knowledge what to do. So the more people get involved and we bring people, we educate, and that's what welfare organizations are trying to do. They're trying to educate the people in the township. I mean, there's one organization, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to mention it by name, but they work right in the township. So the hospital is in the township. And we've had a couple of things that we do there. We go there on Saturdays. They have dog shows to try and raise money. So it's not only just people donating money to help with these cases. They also need to find out where these organizations are and go out and get hands-on experience and get involved.
Dr. Kookie, thank you so much for joining us this morning and also taking such good care of our little boy Bob over there. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
That's it. So check out our website, expressoshow.com. We'll put some info there as well if you would like to get involved in some of these welfare organizations and really help out when it comes to these stray dogs so that, they don't go neglected and abused and, give them a good life. But right now it's over to two lovely ladies in the kitchen.
Strong South African dogs help each other out. With your support, Bobtail will supply 200,000 meals to dogs looking for loving homes. For details, see specially marked packs in store or visit bobtail.co.za today.